Meet Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia in the school of wearing leather jackets because he's just too cool for suits. Okay, I made the last one up, but seriously, this man has an obsession with leather jackets. So before we talk about Jensen, I need to get marks for this assignment and explain what entrepreneurship is. To put it simply, entrepreneurship is the process of identifying business opportunities in the market, amassing resources to disrupt said market, and taking on the risk of losing the resources for the chance of growing a business and getting that bag. The person or group that takes on a risk are called entrepreneurs. Jensen is one such entrepreneur, being a co-founder and CEO of one of the world's most successful companies, Nvidia, which as of this recording holds a market value of $3.29 trillion. Jensen was born in Taiwan during 1963 and moved to the US in 73. Long story short, Jensen being an immigrant who spoke broken English in 1970s America got a taste of the American dream. That is years of incessant bullying and prejudice. One would think that is enough pressure to lead this man down his villain arc, but nah, not my goat. As a quick learner with the work ethic and tenacity of a soldier, bro worked hard to polish up his English and excel in school despite the language barrier. He got both an undergrad and master's in electrical engineering at the prestigious Oregon State University and Stanford University, respectively, and even landed jobs at AMD and LSI Logic. This ability to be hardworking, opportunistic, adaptable, and resilient and remain positive under pressure are all early entrepreneurial characteristics that will lay the foundation for his eventual rise to CEO. In 1993, Jensen left his job at LSI Logic and together with his two friends started Nvidia with only $40,000 in capital. See, being an avid gamer and a visionary, Jensen identified a need for better graphics processing units or GPUs in order to match the growing demand for better game graphics. So while the big dogs like Intel or AMD will focus on CPUs, Nvidia focused on GPUs, a market which barely existed in the 90s. This allowed Nvidia to gain an early mover advantage that is still persisting to this day. Jensen's also adaptable and flexible to change, a trait of his which is often combined with his vision. Jensen gambled on the future mergers of AI and spearheaded development of the CUDA platform in 2007, which allowed Nvidia's GPUs to be used for general computing tasks rather than just graphics. This revolutionary idea led to Nvidia's dominance in building AI chips today, as the parallel processing of GPUs were incidentally perfect for running generative AI programs like ChatGPT, which have taken the world by storm. Jensen is also a strong leader, being known to be humble and sociable. He employs a transformational style of leadership at NVIDIA, choosing a non-traditional, flat organizational structure, engaging with and accepting input from employees from every level of the company. He believes that the management role should be used to empower employees to do the life's work instead of withholding information from them. His leadership builds a strong sense of cohesion at NVIDIA, which encourages innovation, evident by the dominance on the world stage. NVIDIA's growth has brought many benefits to Jensen's homeland of Taiwan, like job creation and economic growth. NVIDIA is a chip designer which relies on outsourcing to fabricate all their semiconductors, with the biggest suppliers hailing from Taiwan, namely companies like Foxconn and TSMC. This has fostered growth of the semiconductor industry in Taiwan, as any success faced by NVIDIA is also shared by way of increased production and profits for the suppliers in Taiwan. And with NVIDIA's recent partnerships with Foxconn to create the new Blackwell supercomputer, the Taiwanese economy is very likely to reap the rewards. Similarly, these partnerships will also advance AI research in Taiwan, as the new supercomputer powered by NVIDIA's Blackwell GPUs are expected to enrich resources of Taiwanese researchers and allow access to new cutting-edge tech. These resources are also expected to empower regional development of tech such as smart cities, electric vehicles, and manufacturing, further establishing Taiwan as a global leader of computing. However, as the saying goes, every rose has its thorn. Semiconductor production is a very resource-heavy process requiring lots of water and energy, and this has caused many climate concerns in Taiwan about the sustainability of the AI creates in Taiwan. It doesn't help that the chip manufacturing also causes emissions, leading the industry to quickly rise to the second largest source of emissions in Taiwan, with the first being fossil fuels, which supplies 84% of Taiwan's energy, in which chip manufacturing is also reliant on. Therefore, NVIDIA's investments in the area come like a double-edged sword because yes, on one hand, you're furthering advancements in deployment of AI in Taiwan, but you're also causing further strain on the environment. And if you all die from climate change, I don't think anybody's going to care that your refrigerator can recap all 21,000 minutes of Star Wars to you while you cry over your expensive utility bills. But hey, Jensen Huang and NVIDIA have still done a lot to better our everyday lives and the tech we use, so I'd say it's a net positive. So kids, the moral of the story is, if your mom complains you're spending too much time on video games, just tell her you're observing the market and waiting for your chance to create the next big trillion-dollar company. And if all else fails, remember this. No matter how good you think you are at something, There'll always be an Asian kid out there better than you.